Welcome to Social Studies Samurai. In this video, we'll show students and teachers how to create their own multimedia-rich digital textbooks, storybooks, comics, magazines, and the like using a cool tool called Book Creator. It's very user-friendly, has lots of accessibility features, so let's get started. So one thing with Book Creator is that you might default to the student sign-in. So make sure you click on the teacher sign-in and sign up as a teacher when you create your account. Then choose your platform. So here's a book created by a teacher on societies where women rule. And you'll notice that this teacher has embedded a Google My Map just to give a little more spatial awareness to the students. And yes, if you click on these pins, it'll open a new tab and take you to a different place, to the map itself. There's images embedded here. You notice that there are infographics embedded. Pretty cool stuff. Here's one where a teacher had their students record their own audio explaining how they, build character. Very cool, very fun, very collaborative. Now here's a book that my grade 7 students collaborated on to share photos of an event that we held at the school. And you'll note that they've embedded video. They've got some fun, different kinds of fonts and things. They didn't use a template. They built this themselves. Now here's one I did with my grade 9 Individuals and Societies class on causes of the French Revolution and the consequences. I've even linked the 360 images that I wanted students to see. So if they click on those 360 images, they pull out into a new tab and they look at some different things. I've used historical sources. I've got quotes where students could use a worksheet and the book at the same time. Now, because I teach at an international school, my grade 12 students recorded proverbs and expressions in the language of the country that they're from, or at least the language they wanted to express themselves in. And they recorded these and we shared them with younger students for our home language club. Now, I've got a long book on the story of Valentine's Day, so I decided I'd put a table of contents in which will pull people to the specific pages that they might be interested in. And of course, you can embed video as well. We'll show you how to do all of this. Very cool. So here in my dashboard, I've got different tabs. I can use Discover to find other books from other teachers, which you can copy and modify if they've allowed that in their settings. You got tutorials, and you've got the certification process if you want to become a Book Creator certified author. You can create libraries if you want to organize yourself. I'm going to click on Social Studies Samurai. That's my main library. And so I just have to toggle with the arrows to see my books. And if I mouse over, I can edit them. But I'm going to go back. This is where, by the way, you can click the little library thing and you can delete books or merge books, which is pretty cool. You can import and things like that. This is where you change your titles of books, where you can play a book and kind of review it. And if you click the share button, this is where you publish and stuff. We want to make a book, so I'm going to click New Book. So in here, you've got your blank books, but you also have templates, and you can scroll around and kind of look through the different templates that they have. I want to start with a blank book. You can choose portrait, square, or landscape orientation. I tend to like landscape. You can choose a completely blank book, or you can use the comic view. In this case, I'm going to create a comic. It's a little more playful. So I'm going to choose a landscape comic. Okay, so now I've got my cover here. So I'm going to add some content, and I can do that by clicking the plus button, and I can use my inspector to edit a little bit later on. The play button, you can play the book and see how it looks later. So I hit plus. Now, if I want, I can upload my own images or draw or do things like that. I can choose comic and then choose panels and then upload a panel. I'm going to do that later. What I want to do is actually add like a full image and make it the same size as the whole cover page. So I'm going to choose import. And now I can embed different things or whatever. I'm going to upload a file. If I do search for an image, it is already copyright free. Academic honesty is honored. But I'm going to use my own, and then I'll put in my citation later. So my image is uploading. Now I like this image, but I have to move it around a little bit. I want it to cover the whole page. Notice I have my little blue knobs here. I'm just gonna drag that, make it look pretty big, and try to get it kind of centered. Oh, because I had my little pink guides there, I know that it's centered. So what I'm gonna do is right click and I'm gonna choose lock. And now I can't move it around. And then I can add some text and give a title. So if I click on this, let's see, I'm going to choose text. And I think I'm going to use this one here. I kind of like the caption feature. And now what I like to do is actually create a Google Doc where I have all of my images and video and links and things like that ready to go. So it's quick to build or make my book. So here I am in my Google Doc. I'm just going to start copying and pasting stuff from it into my book. Pasted that text. I could link text if I want. I'll do that later in the book. I'm going to keep it bold. I don't want italics. I'll click done. Okay, that's kind of cool. What I don't like though is how the font looks and that kind of thing. So I'm going to go to my inspector here in the top right. So first, I think I like the font, but I don't like the color. Maybe I'm gonna make it white. And now the background, I'm gonna choose, and let's see. I'm gonna choose none. So wow, look at that. All right, that looks a lot better. I'm gonna click my arrow to go back, and I'm gonna create a larger font by doing that. That's a little bit too big, so I'm actually going to tap on the number here. Let me go drag a little bit here. And I like that. And I'm going to put it down here. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to lock it. And so now it's not going to move. So let's add my first page. So I've tapped here. And so I'm going to choose my first page. I'm going to click the plus button. And I'm not going to upload media here. What I'm going to do is choose a comic, and I'm going to use my panels. And that's going to set the tone for, you know, my first page. So I think here I'm going to start adding my media. So in my first panel, I'm going to tap, and I'm going to choose what to put in here. I'm going to choose an image. And again, I'm going to upload one that I already have. Let's see. I like this one because it looks like Tutankhamun is looking out that way. So let's see how this looks. So Tutankhamun's kind of cut off here, right? So I'm going to right click and I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to tap on those 4 arrows and I'm going to drag this a little bit over here. I think that looks better. It's going to fill everything. Let's see how that looks. I like it. Right click and I'm going to lock it again so I don't mess it up later. And if I tap out, now what I might want to do is put my citation in here. I'll do that a little bit later. You kind of get my point about academic honesty. Now I want to put a little bit of text in here maybe. So I'm going to go back and copy my text from my Google Doc. I've got my text copied, but I'm going to put an image in here first, I think. So I'm going to tap on it and click the camera button again, and I'm going to upload a file. I'm going to choose one again that I think is interesting. This is still kind of an introduction, so I think I'll go with that one. Now, normally I wouldn't use the same image a bunch of times, but anyway, for now, let's put in some text. Click plus. I'm going to choose text again, and this time I think I might not use the caption. I'm going to use just regular text. So I've got my text here. I'm going to add my links to citations and things like that a little bit later, and I'll click done. And since it's black, I'm going to click on my inspector. I'm going to change the color of the font to white, and I'm going to just kind of drag it here. I'm going to put it kind of in the middle, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to lock it, and that's in there. So maybe what I want to do is put like a video or some other image or something like that. The border and background's a little boring, so I'm going to go to my inspector and I'm going to choose a background color that I think may enhance it a little bit. Let's see. I think that's okay. Now there's different filters you can use. I encourage you to play around a little bit. Let me tap out. So now let's say I want to add some other kind of media. I click my plus button, and let's see, here's media. I can put in shapes and squares and things like that, speech bubbles. Maybe I want to record me introducing things. I can click record. I have to allow my microphone, and right up here I can click start recording. Welcome everybody to Discoveries That Change the World. I hope you find something that fascinates you, and I want you to create a book with your favorite discoveries a little bit later. Click stop recording. I listen to it. Welcome everybody to Discoveries That Change. If I like it, I click use recording, and I'm going to drag that up here, maybe right in the middle. I'm going to right click, lock it in place, and now I know that that's there, and all people have to do is tap on it to listen to it. Let's add some more media to jazz this up. Plus button. Chose media. I'll choose import. Now what I've done is gone back and copied the URL to a YouTube video. So I'm going to choose embed. Now with embed, you can embed Flipgrid and Google Forms. You can embed almost anything. I'm not going to give you an example for every one. We'll just go with YouTube. So I pasted the YouTube URL, click confirm. Now that it's validated, I know, yep, that's the one I want. I click add. So it's a little bit big. What I'm going to do is kind of drag this. I'm going to make it kind of fit a little bit better, and look at that. It looks good to me, so I am going to right click. I'm going to lock it, and so I'm going to go back to my first page, and I'm going to see how this looks. Let's click play. Okay, so I know there's a problem here with this. I've got to change it. This is looking pretty good, so let's go back and fix things. I do that by going up here to edit, and I click edit. Now I'm back. Now the reason this got cut off is because I changed this. So I'm going to right click and unlock it. I'm going to move it. And so see, I've got my alignment here with my little red arrow. So I'm going to pull this maybe right into the middle, and I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Let me play and see how that's going to look. That looks much better. So let me go back to edit. So I've got my first page. I want to add a second page. You get the idea of how to, change, edit, and modify. But what I do want to show you is up here in the left is pages. So as you build your book, you can click and copy a page and move it around. So if I copied this, I like that layout. Everything's locked. So I can drag, click and drag, and here's where I can just use the same outline or template, or if I want, I can click the ellipse and I can move things around. If I click move, I can, make it the cover, make it page 3 or 4. It's your choice. Let me cancel that. If I tap on it, it allows me to edit this book. And so for this one, I think what I'll do is click add. I'm going to go to my panels again, and I think I'll add like a, whatever I want. I want to put a lot of text in this. So maybe on one side, I'll put a bunch of text, and the other side, an image. I'll go to my inspector, and then I'll change the colors to a different image or a font or something like that. Now, when you want to play the book and see how it looks, you can click on play here, and you can click read to me. It reads in like 120 different languages. You can view it in a complete browser view. You can click escape or this button here. If you click the gear wheel, you have different settings that you can use. We'll do that in a different video. If you click the share button, this is where you can publish it online directly from within the book, and you can download it as an ebook as well into a PDF format. Now, back here in my library, if I click on the books here, this is where I can delete, or I can combine other books, I can import other books, I can move it to a different library. Here is where I can change my title. Just leave it like that, and then I can change the author if I want. And here I can publish it or download it as an ebook. So download in PDF format. Here I can invite collaborators, or I can click publish online. So in here, I can change my title again if I want, add a description for the book. I can make it public, not doing that until it's finished. I can allow remixes by clicking on, so people can make a copy and do their, do their own thing with the book. I'm not going to do that right now. And then if I click publish online, it is public and I can just share the link with people. Very cool stuff. When it's public, you are going to see how many times people have actually read your book. Very cool. Thank you for watching the video. If you are a student or a teacher of subjects like history, geography, politics, and economics, you can find more resources on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on the web at socialstudiessamurai.com. I hope to see you again.